Hello, I want to show you today how to make a simple little top. I found some fabric with a beautiful, beautiful print. And when you look at the print, it's hard to determine the wrong side for the right side. So what you do when you have that case is just determine which side you want to use and put a pin in place on both pieces so that you can make sure that you use the same side on both pieces. So I found this beautiful piece of fabric. I bought 1.5 yards. I want to make a simple top. The print mainly is in the center and then the sides are just dark. So what I did was I bought 1.5 yards. I divided it by 2. One piece for my front, the other piece for my back. I can make 3 tops out of this fabric. I can either make a poncho-like top, which that's what I'm going to make. If I wanted a kimono top, I would measure my hip, divide it by 2, and since this is folded in half, say my hips are 40 inches, then I would measure from my center-wise folded to 10 inches, plus my seam allowance, and always allow a little extra ease. And then I took that and I folded in half, and I pressed it with the iron, and that's how I created that crease. That's going to be my guideline for sewing. So I did both of them together, both pieces on top of each other, so they are identical. Now, if I wanted a kimono sleeve, I would simply measure my seam allowance and the depth I want of my sleeve, and I would just draw the line, and then I would just cut the excess off, and that would give me a kimono sleeve. If I wanted the raglan, the dolman-like type sleeve, I would come the same from my hip line and measure out, and then draw it with a slight curve shape up to my wrist opening, and that would give me my dolman-like type sleeve, and it kind of looked like a raglan type sleeve also. Now, since I have these set up and ready to go, and I have my hip, I want to make sure I can get my head in it, because it's just a straight boat neck. I measure your head circumference, average head is 22 inches. So I measure from my center 5 inches, plus you want a little extra ease. So you want to do 6 inches or 5.5 inches. And then for my bra strap, so it would cover my bra strap, I measured 2 inches and I created these little notches. Then I want my shoulder to show, so then I left this open to my wrist, and then I measured from my back end 3 inches and create a little notch so it'll stay on my wrist. Now I serged all around the whole thing first, and then I did a roll hem already at the bottom. Now if you don't have a serge and you can't create this finish, that was just my guide for sewing. I took it and I folded it, and then I folded and I stitched it. Look at my video to show you how to do a roll hem, and you just want to do a basting stitch at 1/4 inch and use that as your guide and fold it so it come out even all the way around, because I'm trying to teach you all how to do professional finishes. Now I want my sleeve opening from my shoulder down 12 inches, so my crease stops at 12 inches, and then remember I press both of these. So now I just want to take the 2 and put the right sides together. So here I put a pin there for my right side. I want to put my right sides together. And I already hemmed the bottom. It's just a 1/4 inch hem allowance. And then I want to take and match these together. Because remember, there go my notch. That's so that will stay at my wrists. And then I continue to match this to my other notches. Remember, that's so it will cover my bra strap. Here's my other notch. So those are the only spots I'm going to sew. I'm going to sew from here to here. I'm going to sew this couple of inches right here. We're going to repeat the same on the other side. And then I'm matching the crease that I created with my iron, but I'm only going to stitch this together when I flip it. So first we're going to stitch these together, this together, these together on the opposite side. Simple, simple top. Anybody can make this top. And what makes it look so good is because of the fabric. Now, if you want to do out of solid, it will look just as cute out of solid. And of course, you can dress it up or decorate it any kind of way you like. So here, we're going to go sew just these few spots together. After that, we would just take it and flip it, match the crease lines with the pins, and then you would stitch on top of those to finish those also. So here we go. Let's go to the sewing machine, sew these together. Because you have to hem these to finish these also. So here we go. So I'm going to just stitch these together, the width of the foot. And I don't want to do the whole thing, but I want you to see. So after I stitch this together, do the same to the other side. All I'm going to do is take this and fold it. And fold it again. We're going to open it up and then stitch it. I'm not going to do the whole thing. I just want you to get the idea. So after I stitch this, I'm going to continue to stitch my opening because that's the part that I want open. I want the wrist closed, but I want the rest of it open. So this is the way you're going to hem the bottom and the side seam. So you're going to hem all of this together.
So we're rolling and we're folding
We're rolling it, yeah. So you can't see the side seam. And if you follow the thing for doing the roll hem, you're not going to see that either. The raw edge, because we folded it
the raw edge is the
twice.
serge. So that's what we don't want to see.
Yeah, the serge is covering the raw edge.
It's covering the raw edge.
And if you do a stay stitch or a basting stitch, the stay stitch means it's going to stay. That's why it's called a stay stitch. But the stitch itself is your guide for folding and hemming. And if you follow that stitch like I'm following this serge stitch, you're going to get a perfect, even hem. Make sure you check the tension. So if I had stitched this little piece right there, I would be doing the same stitching all the way across. So that's how I'm going to finish this. I'm going to stop right here. And I want you to see that then I would go on the side and do the same thing, fold it, and I would hem my side seam. So the entire thing would be hemmed all the way around. After you finish the neck, then you want to join the two creases together. I'm going to take this crease and put it on top of the other. See my crease right there on top of this crease? Match those up and sew those two together. And remember, my armhole, it only came down to 12 inches. Then I'm going to get a poncho top. So I suggest that you take the two creases. It's hard to see on this print, but you see that crease. And pin them before you sew them. Pin them together before you sew them. So that way you don't have to keep checking and checking and checking and making sure that they are lining up. And then you're going to get this really cool top. This armhole is going to be out. It's going to rest on my wrist, but the rest of it's going to be open on my shoulder. It's going to attach to my shoulder. The shoulder's going to hang out, and it's going to be a really slick top. So you can follow these directions and make 3 different easy tops.